Because we are looking at leadership, and I want now to show you how men can reject God as their ruler and appoint for themselves rulers which they desire. Now, David, as we have seen him say what God said to him, David was the second king in Israel. The first one was King Saul, and after King Saul, now came David. Now, before kings started ruling Israel, God was ruling Israel through judges, if you read the book of Judges. And now there was this judge who was called Samuel. He was a prophet, and Samuel ruled Israel for quite a long time. But it was, in essence, it was God ruling Israel over Israel through Samuel. Samuel was a prophet, but Samuel grew old, and now his children took over him. But his children did not walk in righteousness as their father Samuel did, which is so unfortunate. A father can be righteous, but his children refuse to walk in the same footsteps as his fathers. That can be dangerous, but it happens. So it happened in the time of Samuel the prophet. So it says, verse 8. Now I read 1 Samuel chapter 8. I want you to see something. From verse 4, it says, 1 Samuel 8:4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah and said to him, Behold, you are old, and your sons do not walk in your ways. Now appoint for us a king to judge us like all the nations. Now, that is dangerous. That request is dangerous. When a people now want to be like the Gentiles, and we are here seeing Jesus saying to his disciples, don't do as the Gentiles do with regards to leadership. Don't do that. So they said, appoint for us a king to judge us like all the nations. Now that is dangerous, and I'll show you the essence of it. Then verse 6. But the thing they displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge. And Samuel prayed to the Lord, and the Lord said to Samuel, Obey the voice of the people in all that they say to you, for they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me from being king over them. Look at that. And then he said to Samuel, verse 9, Now then, obey their voice. Only you shall solemnly warn them and show them the way of the king who shall reign over them. Look at that. So God said to Samuel, they have rejected me. And you know how people do that. And I am so fearful. Let me tell you, it really saddens my heart when I hear we as a nation say we want to be like Singapore. Is Singapore the benchmark? My brother, my sister, do we want to be like Singapore? No, I don't want to be like any other nation in this world. I want us to be a nation under God. But I'm telling you, today, even today, just as Israel did, they desired to be like other nations. They rejected their king, God, who was ruler over them, and they said, no, we want to be like other nations. That is dangerous. And you know, we also do that. When we as a nation desire to be like Singapore or like any other nation, they are not the benchmark. Me, I desire to see us being that nation under God that other nations desire to be like us. And you know, it happens even in our families. I've told you, there are political leaders, there are religious leaders. You know, there are people who go to church and they want to see their church as another church. They see how other churches conduct their affairs. They see how they have built these big churches, and they now come and they start giving pressure to the man of God because they want him to be like other nations, because other churches. It happens even to pastors. I'm telling you, there are pastors who want even their praise and worship to be like the praise and worship, that big praise and worship of another church. I'm telling you, this is a mindset that we usually have, and it is so dangerous before God. Or even in a home, you will find children, they are not satisfied with God ruling and reigning over them through their father. They want their father or their home to be like another home they saw. I usually tell my children, remember, I am not like the other men or fathers you come across, because as our children grow, they start moving out and they come across families, other families, and they may tend to be moved in love with the families they see. Maybe it's with regards to wealth. They come to a family and they find they have things they don't have in their home, and they desire to be like their other family, and they start pressuring their father, their parents, to work hard so that they may acquire wealth just as they saw. I'm telling you, my people of God, that is dangerous. We don't desire to be like others. The only desire we should have is for God to reign over us, that we may be that a people who God reigns over. And therefore God said to Samuel, you tell them, you give them, they want a king, they want a king like other nations. I want you to tell them the manner of which this king will be to them. And now he starts to describe, we have seen Jesus saying to his disciples during Passover that they should not be like the Gentiles whose leaders are benefactors. Now I'm telling you, God described a benefactor in the most awesome way possible. Look at this. So verse 10, in 1 Samuel chapter 8 from verse 10. So Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who were asking for a king from him. He said, this will be the ways of the king who will reign over you. And then he begins. He will take your sons and appoint them to his chariots and be his horsemen and to run before his chariots. I'm telling you. So he will take their children and make them bodyguards over him, run before him. So it is all about him. He said to someone, you tell them the king that they will appoint for themselves, I'm telling you, he will not come in the way they think. They say we want to be like other nations so that our king can go and fight for us. That's a lie. He said to them, he will come as a benefactor. He will take your children and they will run before him. Then verse 12, and he will appoint for himself. Listen, for who? Not for you people, but for himself. And this is the mindset of many leaders who ascend into power even today. So he says, and he will appoint for himself commanders of thousands and commanders of 50, and some to plow his ground, to reap his harvest, and to make his implements of war and the equipments of his chariots. Look at that. He says that when he comes, even the implements of war they will make, it will be for him. He will use to his own advantage, just as many political leaders do. They use the many arms of government to their own advantage, to protect themselves. When people try to rise up against their governance, they take the police, the army, all these arms of government, and they use them to protect themselves. Oh, I'm telling you, God said to Israel, that is what that king will do. That is what that leader will do, and that is what happens to many leaders who ascend into power, whether it be political or religious. I'm telling you, there are a lot of religious leaders who have implements of war against their members, who don't give in to their conniving ways. I'm telling you, men of people of God. And then he continues to say, verse 13, he will take your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers. He will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive orchards and give them to his servants. Oh my goodness. As rewards to his servants, because they are loyal to him. They don't oppose him in all the things he does. So he will reward them with vineyards. And does this sound familiar with the leadership we have today around the world? So he says, verse 15, he will take the tenth of your grain and of your vineyards and give it to his officers and his servants. He will reward them for their loyalty. 16, he will take your male servants and female servants and the best of your young men and your donkeys and put them to work. To work for him, not for the people, for him. Verse 17, he will take the tenth of your flocks and you shall be his slaves. Now look at that. Oh my goodness. He shall make you your slave, his slaves. And that is a clear picture of Gentile type of leadership. When they ascend to power, whether it be a religious leader, whether, I'm telling you, it cuts across all types of leadership. I'm telling you, he will make you slaves. And in that day you will cry out because of your king, whom you have chosen for yourselves, but the Lord will not answer you in that day. Oh, that is dangerous. Can you imagine coming to a place where you say, oh, we made a mistake, and cry to God, and God will say, I will not hear you. You decided, you chose him for yourself. Now Let it flow. And then verse 19 he says, but the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, no, but there shall be a king over us, that we also may be like the nations, and that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles. That's a lie. That is what they thought, that he will fight their battles. God says to them, nope, he won't. Because this king you want to choose for yourselves, he will only see his leadership as an opportunity to benefit himself and those his servants who are loyal to him. And that is what has been ailing our nations, our churches, our homes, and many companies we have today. Bad leadership.